Hello and welcome back to Midlife Gaming. This is our latest episode, I think episode 6 now, of Factorio. And we've had a little change around of things last time we were here. So, as you remember, last episode we'd been putting in some of these nice little flame turrets, which you can get a decent look at there. They're rather fun, as you've seen. Do like a little bit of burning up some biters. This is our southern wall. Made a few changes here. If you remember, this is the little factory we built the railway track on, and if you can see over here, we've also built some landfill. This is so that we can get this landfill here, and we've been able to fill in a few bits of water. I've also built one of these little machines here just to build some of these furnaces. We've got a fair few amount of those now at the moment, and our belts are rather nicely full up. What I'll do, I'll go into the map view. As you can see, I've exposed quite a lot more of the map because I wanted to try and find out where our resources were so we could better plan ahead for our railways. Because it occurred to me that our railways were going to be going from here and here, which isn't very far, and it was only for one resource, which was iron, and then more iron essentially. And then this copper one up here was quite a troublesome one to look at getting around here. So what I've done, I've uncovered more of the map, and as you can see, we've got quite a few of these bigger bases. I did take out these little ones down here. They weren't actually that big, they were just problematic, but they're gone now. And as you can see, we've got a huge amount of iron and copper and stuff over this way. So we've got 5.5 million iron, 8 million copper, got another 2 million copper there, and also this oil. Now today, this oil is what we want to look at taking and bringing back to our base. So as you can see on here, we've done a few changes to our map, our base. So we've got obviously our smelters here with our bricks, and we've got all our iron and copper coming in here. But you'll probably notice that we're missing some iron smelters. So what I've done, I've left the copper ones here for now, but I have moved the iron ones. And what I've done, in preparation of bringing our new railways in down here, because today is our day for building railways, and we've got a lovely space there to build a little station for that. We are going to bring in a railway for oil, which will link into this one, and we will have our oil refineries in this area somewhere. And as you can see here, if we go up a little bit, you'll see that I've actually built our iron smelting up here now instead. And what happens is the iron is coming out from the belt as it would do normally. It's going up this way, all the way along here, all the way along here, and then up into two belts here. And that is going into these machines, which is the higher level furnaces. And as you can see, they're pushing out 2 belts of pure iron there, or 1 and a bit. Not quite there with that second one just yet. We will be. Probably we'll stick one of these on here for the moment. Or we will when we're near it anyway. Which we'll do later. We're not in a rush to that because we've got plenty of iron coming through. So as you can see, we've created this up here now. We've also got a new radar up here, put some power poles in him so he can see more of the map up the top there. Which is nice, which is all good. He can see when anything's coming in there. We've actually gone and done a little drive around. We've just spotted out some of these bases here. We've got more copper, coal, stone, iron. We've essentially got everything we need. We're pretty good here. We did build a wall around this one here. We can't see there's no radar coverage in there at the moment, so that is something we're going to be able to bring that in later. Once this iron here disappears, this will be our new iron patch. We'll bring that across on a belt, and it will just literally go straight up here and connect to this one, and we'll cut that one off, and then this will be empty space. Copper, we'll essentially do the same, and what we will have is, once the railway's in here, the railway for the copper and the iron probably will unload somewhere over here, or maybe even in here. And what will happen is that will go into belts, and it will go parallel to this road that I've built here, and we'll have this going into here and here. We'll build a copper column up here as well, and then that will just do the same with the copper and the iron, puts it back onto belts, and essentially gives us the space here that we need to put anything we want in for later. And steel at the moment is still on this belt. I'm not too worried about that for now. It's still putting loads of steel out there. We are still making some. As you can see, this iron here is starting to deplete quite a lot. There's a couple there that aren't using anything. No mineable resources. None there. So we will cut this off, but eventually what happens is once that cuts off, we will just split this into two and it will go into there instead. Or we could just build another steel column down here. It's not a problem either way, we can do that. So you might also notice we don't have any coal on these belts. That's because the oil we had in the last episode that we have running is obviously going up these pipes through to our flame turrets, which is lovely because they're still working nicely. But also now it's coming off onto some refineries. There's only 4, and these refineries are currently turning it into what's that called? I think it's liquid petroleum, or gasoline as they call it in America, or as we call it in the UK, petrol. And basically, yeah, petroleum gas, so petrol as far as I'm concerned. Call it what you like. In America it's still petrol. This is now going into these little chemical factories here, turning this into solid fuel. And what this does, it essentially burns better and faster than normal coal, and it will also save our coal from being wasted. So this coal's still being pulled out of the ground, but we still got it spare for these power generators up here, and that can be used for the power generators too. But we will probably later change that over. There's no rush to do it right now. So yeah, these will burn longer, harder, better, and yeah, that will make it a lot easier for us. So ourselves a little Jeep. I've put a little pathway in here just so we've got a bit more speed for walking. And we've got our Jeep, we filled it up. We've got some trains, got some carriages. Now, I'm sure I built more trains and more carriages, but I've bloody lost them. They're somewhere on this map and I don't know where they are. They've gone. They're not in the Jeep. They're not in any boxes that I can find. They have vanished somewhere into thin air. I really don't know where they are. So I had to build new ones, but that's not a problem. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go and build ourselves a little oil station first of all. And we're going to have essentially, what I'm looking to do is have the main track go across here, through that little gap there, all the way across here, and essentially it will loop itself back around again, and we'll have that as the backbone left and right across this map. Anything else that comes off of it will come off and spur off, as in iron trains will go on here, go across and then back up, copper down and across and back up. Oil will just go back and forth left and right, and then stone up and around, back and down. It's going to be fairly easy. But I do notice right down the bottom here we have got a little bit more oil as well, so we probably will look at getting that somewhat later too. So what I'm going to do is have a little branch off of that main track going across, which is where the oil will come up here, be dropped off and then go back on again. We don't want any main railway lines on the main backbone central track. So we'll have that as a to and from, and everything else will come off of it in small little side lines, I guess. We'll go from there. So let's have a look at where we want to build this first of all. I think we probably want to put the main track in first, which the best thing I think to do is start over here where we've got the gap in the rocks, which is literally right here. So if we can put this in, this is going to be the best option, I think. So if we go to the map now, we can see that this is where we want to put the track through. Now I want to lay the track so it's got a gap between the two rails, and this is what we've got this here for, because I think we're going to need it to cover this bit here. As you can see, we can fill some of this in, which is nice. There we go. And what I want to do is get the railways going through here. We do have explosives now. We have these cliff explosives. We did get these in the last video. And we can blow these up, which is much easier. So I think now that we've done that, we've got a nice little gap through there. Now we want to get rid of this tree. Let's get rid of this. And let's move our car out of the way. And what we'll do, we'll use this as the highest point for the railway. So railway is like belts, as I said before. So you pop that down and click on that, and you can drag it out like this. Nice and easy. Oops. And then click on there to get rid of it. And then on there, you can just go and add more. There we go. A straight track that we can use. It can't reach at the moment, so what we'll do, we can use our brain for 2 seconds. we'll get in the car and we will slowly drive in a straight line and try not to hit the wall as we go. And now we know it's a straight line, we can just keep going until we run out of tracks, which we've got plenty more in the car, so that's fine. You can see now why we have so many spare, why we built so many of the damn things. So this is just one of our tracks. This can be the to or the from. I'm going to use it as the from. So it will go from west to east. And there we go. We'll just carry on over there for now with that. Because we're probably going to want to do a little loop. Okay, not enough rails. That's fine. Let's look in here. Now we've got plenty. Now, what we also want to do is do a track the other way, because we're going to want 2 railways. What I like to do is put these ones in the middle, so I like to give a gap, because we want to run power between these. If I put that there as a guide, and then the next track will go in just about there, and that gives us our distance between the tracks. And the reason for that is we want to have a space there that we can run power lines down the middle. Excellent. So we don't need that power line specifically at the moment. What we will do is we'll go back and just put this track on as we go. And any obstacles in the way we'll get rid of as we go along. Any, hopefully. As you can see, the track's trying to curve a little bit. We'll get to curves in a moment when we want to build off of the side of this. And here we go. We've got some trees now. So trees are a pain in the arse for us because they're in the way. So here we go. Not anymore. We'll try to damage ourselves as we do this, but not always easy. Oh, also, I forgot to show you. We don't need that anymore. We've got something else. So the first thing we've got is this flamethrower. So we'll just use nature to get rid of itself. There we go. Greta Thunberg is gonna spit when she sees this.
How dare you!
And we'll just leave that to do what it's doing while we build our railway. And we'll just repair our truck, our little Jeep, while we're waiting for that to go. And we'll just let it do its thing. It will get there eventually. Get rid of its self, fix its problem. There we go. And we'll carry on building this. There we go. Right. Oh, we're actually going to run out of more railways. We're going to need more of this in a moment. That's fine. We'll stop and grab some more on the way. Oh, look, that one's still stuck there. Okay. There we go. Can't get in the way of progress. It's there for a reason. And there's our little driveway that goes up to the main base. And we'll just keep going all the way along until we run out, which will be imminently. There we go. Right, now we're actually out of railway completely. And so we did underestimate how much we would use. That's fine. We can just literally go back and grab some more. We should still have quite a few hundred in there being made. There we go. Jump out of there. You might notice I've changed some of the settings slightly here so that we don't get smoke or clouds anymore. Part of the reason for that is it was really starting to get laggy when going over the tops of things like the burners and the miners. It was just getting too laggy, so I had to really switch it off. I probably need to go and get myself a bit of an update for my computer, get a bit more RAM going in there, which I will do soon, but I think for the moment it was just detracting too much from the video. It wasn't really giving the best content I wanted, so I decided to change it. Okay, where were we? Right, we've got more of this railway now. Let's go along here. And yeah, I think that'll be fine for now. We won't do too much of that, so we'll go back this way just to make sure. Try and destroy anything we have on the way that we know is going to be a problem, like, for example, cliffs that are in the way. Don't have to worry about destroying ourselves with these. These are actually okay. And we'll go down here, get rid of this one as well. And we've got a few more of these trees in the way, so let's get out here and start toasting. That should get things going nicely. That's also quite good if you have any bugs or biter bases inside trees, because then you can just clear them out quite quickly with that. Later on, once we get our tank, we get one of those flamethrowers on top of the tank as well. So we can have fun with that. Never a dull moment with fire. And there you go, as you can see, there's not much of a forest left there now. Obviously that's going to not help us with our pollution, but it's not going to stop us getting our trains either. How are we doing? Getting through that? We'll be alright. Okay. Look at that, lovely, nice straight railway. And obviously the straighter the railway, the faster the trains can grow. And that means they get to and from things quicker. And, oh shit, look at that. Just damaged my tracks. Now see, these things out in the environment by themselves, the biters tend to ignore them. They don't tend to attack the railways or any of the railway infrastructure. They kind of leave it alone and ignore it, which is good because it helps us, but at the same time they will attack other things that are linked to it, like if you put a radar on there or any buildings nearby, they'll attack that sort of stuff. But the actual railways, they tend to leave alone, unless it's near a factory or something like that, then they'll start maybe attacking it. So generally you can run your railways across the map unmolested pretty much, which is good. Oh, it looks like we're not getting through that one either. Okay. Come on. That's it. Burn, 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 burn. Look at that. Much easier than chopping trees down. Obviously we get damaged by the fire. That's annoying, but it is what it is. Is that tree going to come down, or we're going to have to knock it down, or we're going to have to blow it up, aren't we? Do that and be stupid and have to repair everything again. Okay, right. Let's get this on the road, or on the rail if you prefer. There we go, right. Oh, didn't want to do that. I want to do this. Get the hell out of here. So, that's our railways to and from. That will go across the entire edge of that map. We'll get that put in the rest of there later on. So, what we want to do is have a station for the oil to come off at. And that is going to need to be somewhere here. So again, trees in the way. And eventually we will try and concrete all this over once we get concrete in the mix. Actually, see, I'm not even bothering to cut down the trees now because I don't really need them. There's no point having them. So, where do we want our railway for our oil? We are going to want the refineries here somewhere. Potentially more infrastructure over here for storage. So I would suggest we probably put the railway in somewhere here. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to have it too close to the other railway because I want gaps between, potentially for defences. And potentially even for more trains to come in later on. Okay, so that's the first one that we're going to build. We need to put the station in here, which is in the car. Train, fluid wagon, space wagon. Right, I'll grab some of this fuel out of here as well because we will want fuel for the train. And 2 stations. Right, that should do it. Let's get over here and put this bloody station in place. Okay, station number 1. So, okay. If you pop the station over the railway, what it does, it automatically shows you where a train will stop. So as you can see, these first little yellow dots here, that's where the engine is going to stop. And then the white squares behind it is where the carriages will stop. It shows only 4, but you can have trains with lots and lots and lots of carriages. You can have 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. You can have as many as you really want to on there. It's only limited by the power of the train. So you can then do more engines. You can have engine at the front, engine at the back. I tend to have one each end when I get bigger trains. It makes them go faster, helps them push more or pull more, depending on which way you look at it. And also they can go both ways if they need to on a single track. And what happens then is you can just add more cars or take cars out. You don't have to have the same material in each car. You can mix the materials. You can have different cars, different materials. So what we'll do, we'll pop this station down. We're going to see roughly where it is. Okay, so it's going to be about here. So also it depends on which side of the platform you put the station. So if you put it this way, the train comes in left to right. If you put it this way, it comes in right to left. And you can swap that later, but yeah, it's easier to do it this way, I think, for me. So I'm going to put my train station there. And that is our very first railway station. Now, what I like to do is also, I like to go in there and I like to name this. So you can go in here. Let's call it mute giggling at the moment. So we're going to call this oil drop off. So now every time we go anywhere on the map, we know that this is where our oil gets dropped off. Pretty simple, really, isn't it? You can change the colour as well. I forget how you do it. Oh yeah, there we go. We're going to here. And as it's oil, I like it to always be black. I colour code my stations. It's a bit sad, I know, but it helps massively later on. Also the same for trains. So that's our first train station. Now we need to connect it to a track. So what we'll do, we'll go on here and we'll get to this one, and we're going to want to have it so that it comes in. We'll connect it like this and then like this. There we go. Right. And there's one thing I did forget to make, which we'll make now, which is train signals. We're going to need those, and I'll explain why in a second. So that's our very first train line. What we also want to do is have the availability for the train to go back onto that main railway. So we'll build a little further than that to go past it, and then we'll do this and this. So now what we've got is a railway that carries on. Regardless, trains can go through there left and right and centre. Nothing gets in the way. And then when this train comes in to drop off the oil, it will come in off its own main track and it will sit here like a little lay-by, little rest stop, whatever you want to call it. And we can then, if we wanted to, if we really wanted to, is we can get more of this later and we can actually connect up further. And we can, if we do it properly here, we can connect it to here, and then we can build a second track that side and have another stop. And you can build more and more and more. We can even have one down here. I'm keeping this one down here because I think we're going to want to build something later that builds or that takes away the sulfur to another place. Maybe we'll think about that. So there we go. Right, now how do we get the oil off of the train? That's a very good question. We need these pumps which take engines. We can build 6. We're going to need 4 because we're going to put some fluid wagons down, which are these little guys here. So the first thing we do is grab our train and it will snap into place, as you can see. Hey, look at that. It will snap into place right there. Currently there is no fuel in the train. By the way, if trains sitting in the station, the biters will attack those, I believe. I think I've seen a few of those destroyed in the past. Right, oil train, so naturally it becomes black. We won't worry about scheduling it just yet because it hasn't got a second station to go to. Now, fluid wagons. Unos, dos, tres, cuatro. There we go. Right. That will be carrying our oil. Now we need fuel. So we've got 3 slots here for fuel. This will take anything like the coal, the wood, or this solid fuel, which I'm going to throw in there. That will give it a lot of power, a lot of running time. But when the trains do run out, they will stop mid-track and they will wait there until you put more fuel into them. So you do have to keep them running. There's two ways you can run a train. You can run it manually by jumping into it like you can with a car. So there we go. We're now in there. We reverse, or we go forward. Train goes forward, train goes back. There we go. The other thing you can do is you can add a schedule. So when you go to this add station, you're going to tell it to go to oil drop off, and then you're going to say when your oil drop off, you will wait there until a certain amount of time has passed, so a minute, 10 minutes, whatever you want to put, or until there's all these other settings here are fulfilled. So what we want is we want it to empty all its cargo when it gets here, because we don't want it sitting here around when it can go back and get more oil and come back again. So we'll go empty cargo. You can add other wait conditions as well. So you can say empty cargo and 5 minutes have passed, or whatever you want to do. It's your choice. I always do empty cargo, and when I get to the other station, which hasn't been built yet, it will go there, and when we look at the map, it will show us the exit will be over here somewhere. We'll tell it to sit there and wait till it's full up. Unless, of course, we've got other trains coming in, or it's in the way, or it's blocking something. So at the moment, it's on manual mode. So if we go to automatic, it will now take us to that station because it's on auto mode. We'll put it back to manual for now. Right, jump out of there. That's our first train. It's only a short train, it's 4 carriages, plenty more for what we need. But it's got plenty of space behind it, so what we could do is put in a signal there, and if there's another train, it will come off that main track and it will sit behind this one until there's a free slot here at the station, and it will bring any other trains just out of the way so they're not sticking their tail out onto this main track. So, talking of the main track, what we need to do is we need to put some signals on here, because what happens with signals is you see that blue line there that says that there's a train occupying the whole of this train network, and other trains won't move if there's another train on the train network. So it's designed to stop them from crashing into each other, because if they do crash into each other, they are damaged or destroyed, and then you have to replace them. It's a massive pain in the arse. So what we do is we create signals, and what we're going to do on this one is here we're going to go pop a signal there, and that says this track is all good right until you get to here, and it's saying there's a train on the track, so that signal there is red because there's a train in front of it. But because that train in front of it is now off the main track, if we put a signal there, it now stops you there because now there's a train on this track. But if we put one here as well, there you go. So now this track here is red because there's a train on it, so no trains will go into that track. Let's just skip that for the moment. This one is green because there's nothing in front of this train, but it will stop here. It's red because at the moment down the other end of the track there's nowhere for it to go. Once we turn this into a circle, we'll put a few of these along the way, and we'll make little blocks of signals so that trains can keep moving around the network. And once a train comes off of here into one of these little sidings, it'll be fine. But what will happen is that one's there red because it's still saying this train is still on this track here, and it still intersects with this one here. So we'll get back to our signals, or wherever I've put them. There we go. And what we do is we'll put one signal there which tells that train, is this occupied? Currently it says it's not. There's no other trains on the network. But if we put one here as well, and just there as well, that essentially now says the entire network's clear because this train is out of that network. And as you can see, it's got green lights. There's a red light there because there's a train in the way here. And if we actually go and put a signal here, it does start to get very complicated once you start doing all this. So if we put a train here, we know 4 carriages long, stops at that station, and we'll say there, that gives us a space for 4 trains to get on that track. We pop that one there, and we'll watch that signal down here. This signal down here will go green once I click this one. There you go. So what it's now saying is, yes, it's green. There's no trains in front of you on this track. This is good. And also this is good. You can go all the way up here until you reach the next red signal, which is there. And then the next train will stop there. And it's a nice, easy way of stopping your trains from crashing into each other. So for the moment, I am actually going to take that one away from there because it doesn't need to be there for now. I'm definitely going to forget that later on and think there's one there, and we're going to end up with trains going into the back of each other. So it should be hilarious. We'll do the was it the Addams Family with Gomez used to like to crash his trains on these little train lines. Should be entertaining. We try not to do that though. Okay, right. Trains, very, very basic. So how do we get this train to go around the track at the other end? Okay, so what we'll do, we'll jump in it and we'll manually drive it round there. And what happens when we get to the end of this track? Are we all going to go flying off into the distance and scream? Nope, we're going to stop. Abruptly stop. So that's great. But what we want to do is we want to get this train onto that track going back the other way. How do we do that? So there's a couple of ways. First way is we can have this going looping back round, or we can create a train roundabout, which is interesting, a little complicated. You've got to remember where you're setting stuff up and where it's all going. It's also quite space intensive, but we will get all this out of the way for now. Make a bit of space here. Don't think we're going to need to go much further than this. We probably will later, but for now, just for what we want to do demonstration wise, and also to get oil up and running, we'll grab ourselves a little roundabout here. So where do we want to build our roundabout? Bear in mind we can change all this later, it's not set in stone. Okay, so we want to go this way and this way, this way and this way, and essentially, oh, let's just go back on that. No, one more. Can get a little complicated to move these around sometimes. There we go. Okay, so it's not perfect. It's a little bit dirty, a little bit meh, but that's fine. So we'll get in here now. Oh, actually, do you know what we want to? Right, we'll go round. We'll go round first. I'm going to do something in a minute. It's going to be different. Normally when I'm building train stuff, I like to take all my materials with me, but because they're all in the car at the moment, it's a bit of a pain. So we'll just drop our train there for the moment. We can run between these carriages. I tend not to do that when the trains are in auto mode, because you never know when they're going to pull out the station after they've unloaded, or if they've loaded up. You don't know when they're going to pull away automatically. And in this game, trains do kill you. So you have to be really careful. Once you get railways going, you're going to have to watch your left and rights as you cross. They will run you down and instantly kill you, basically. So where do we want to go? Right, we've got, these are cargo wagons. So you can put these on the track and then hook them up to the train, just like that. And there you go. Now, fluid wagons, we can't do anything with. We can't click on them. We have to put fluid into them. Oil, water, whatever. These wagons, however, we can use. So we're going to chuck some resources in here. Chuck a few of these bits in here. A couple of pipes, a couple of belts. Let's grab some. What else do we want to grab? Oh, pumps. We'll do those later because they're going to be needed back here in a minute. Actually, we're going to need 4 at the other end as well. Yeah, okay. We'll build the railway at the other end and then we'll worry about extracting the oil out of the ground. Got an oil refinery, we'll keep that in there. So yeah, there we go. Now we've got a train that's got some material in it. We can take all our stuff with us to build. Let's go and see what's in the back of that car. What we can do is empty the car out into the train and take the car with us on the train if we wanted to do that. We won't worry about that. Don't think we need any of this, any of that at the moment. No, we should be good. We don't need any of these things. We will take that radar. We will take those walls. We'll take a bit more iron. And actually, do you know what? We'll take a couple more ammunition as well. And what we'll do with that is we'll keep that in the base at the other end. We're going to need it there, I think. Also, if you look at our map now, you can see how lovely long straight railway. Isn't that a beauty? We can carry it all the way along across here. And what we'll do, we'll carry it on up to here. That'll extract our iron out for us and then take it straight down here. And then it'll be dropped off to wherever it needs to be dropped off. I mean, it'll probably come down this way and have a little drop-off area here, and it'll just belt it all out there into the burners. Or later on, once we get electric smelting, we can put it down here. It'll be massively extended by then, though. Of course, the beauty of this is, because I've cleared these bases out, these walls are actually going to be surplus to requirement. We will keep them for now, And what we will eventually do is extend them downwards, and we'll have this protected with guns because they will come and attack it if they have to. The rest of the railway should be fine, but we could just put a wall down here or whatever and make some space for ourselves. Okay, right, more railway track we're going to need. Let's just grab some of that. There we go. Lovely. And we did want to make 4 more pumps, didn't we? So what do we need for that? Engines. Just grab a couple of engines quickly. Right, so I grabbed a few more bits and pieces. We're going to put some more of this in the train to take with us, and we'll get that done when we get there. Got a few more bits of iron. Need a few more of those. And so we're looking at here. Yeah, I'll chuck these walls in. We'll need this when we get there. We want to build some defences when we're there. We also are going to need to build some dams power on the way, aren't we? Should have thought about that. Because we're going to want to build the power from the base here downwards. So where are we going to want to stick this from? Let's say we want to put it from here somewhere. So let's get one of these in. Oh, that's convenient. Look at that. It wants to build it from there. So we'll let it do that. Perfect. And what we do, once we're in the train, we'll just go along and we build these along in the train. Let's just grab any more walls we can out of that. No more ammunition. And yeah, that should do for the moment. We'll grab those and those. And those two. Offshore pump, I don't think we're going to need that. We're not going to need any more drilling rigs down there for now. Okay, right. Let's get in this train. Let's go chuff along the way. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll sit in this train. We'll just carry on. And we can't go off the track, so we'll just sit here like this. Put in pipes and cables all the way. And this will give us our power supply down the end, so this will do things like power our radars and turrets and anything else we need that powers. Not the radars and turrets work together. Oh, look, we run out. Bloody hell. Need a few more. More of those, more of those. Come on. Where are they? I actually don't need too many. We're actually there. Didn't take long to get there. There's the oil right above us. So we need to then build ourselves an oil supply here. Or an oil station here, I should say. An oil... what's the word for it? I guess oil station, isn't it, I suppose. Let's go along here, get a couple more of these in. What we'll do, we'll put them way to the end here just to be sure. There we go. Right, let's jump out of there. And we will start to put our base in up here. Also, the other thing we're going to need to build, which I didn't think about, is we're going to need some of these little oil derricks. They are these little guys here. So these will pump the oil out the ground. And looking at our map, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's actually 6, I think, in here. Or it could just be 5. Let's do 5 and see what happens. Yeah, the map shows. It's hard to see if there's 5 or 6. It looks like 2 there. When you look at the map, it looks like 5. Yeah, it looks like there's 5. We'll go with 5. We'll just get 5 built. There we go. Right. And the copper we'll worry about later. So, again, how we're going to get this train to turn around, we'll put the railway track in so that it rotates. We can have a circle at the end of it. A roundabout. In a very roundabout way. Except we're going to want to do it a little nearer than that because that's going to be in the water otherwise. I'm going to want these trees out of the way as well. And the cliff. Get rid of that. Lovely. It was easy to get rid of those. Much better. Okay, we'll go that way, that way, that way. Up. Up. Yeah, nice and simple. Easy. Right. End of the line, everybody. And what we'll do is we will go... Tell you what we'll do. We'll drive the train around there. How about that? Come on, keep going. Keep going. And we're going to want to stop about there, I'd say. Okay, cool. Brilliant. And then we're going to want to build this off of here. Like this. And like this. And like this. And there we go. Plenty of space there for more trains if need be later on. And we've got our oil up there, which is good. Oh, we've got a power supply, one of those there already. And we can take from there. What we'll do, we'll build that one there. We'll get rid of that one. Don't know why I've got that chest there. I'm not sure we need it for anything. And there we go. Right. So I think what we're probably going to do is build the wall around this first of all. Eventually we'll build a wall around the copper once we put our miners in there too. And we will stick this train. I like the way the train's got little lights at the back of it. And when you're going along, you press left and right as you're pushing forward, it will automatically pick that track for you. There we go. Right. Where's our station going to go? Got one station here. And again, we've got this little selector here. And shall we say that we'll put the station nearer to this end? There we go. Right, lovely. We'll click on that. Change the colour to black, because we always like it black. We'll change the name to oil pickup. There you go. Excellent. Right, now we have the train, which we can say to the train, add a station. The next one is oil pickup, add weight condition, full cargo. And then we can say automatic. Actually, what we want to do is we want to go there. We'll tend to go directly there. Perfect. Right, so it stops there by itself. We'll go back there and put that to manual just for now. So the train is now programmed. We look at it again. It's programmed now to go to oil drop off, empty its cargo, go back around this big long track right to the end. So it'll be programmed to go here, go all the way around there, come all the way back to here on a circle, and then go back into here and then pick up more oil. And it will just do that until we tell it to stop, which we are not going to do there, but we've turned it off onto manual for the moment, just it's easier for us. So how do we get the oil onto the train? The first thing we need to do is get the oil out of the ground and store it as well. I like to build a few of those first of all. So what are we going to do is get the pumps. Pumps are important because we need to make sure we've got enough of those to put onto the train. Now these bad boys here. So if you look at these, when you look at them near the train, they give the little white square around the train. And essentially you can put them anywhere along that. And as long as it goes into that train, it will pick up the fluids for it. So if we put one on one, as you can see, they need power as well. Which is annoying, but it is unfortunately what it is. What if we get away with putting that one there? Oh, look, just far enough out that it doesn't like one in the middle. That's fine. It wants to be awkward. That's not a problem. And we can then even do that. Isn't that frustrating? Like so. There we go. Except now that one's not got no power to it. So we put another one there as well, just to cover that one. Irritating, isn't it? There you go. So as you can see, these trains now, or these pumps now, have gone into the nearest carriage that they can get to. which basically is now going to pump anything that it can into there, whether it be oil or water or any other things like sulfuric acid, whatever we want to use. So we need to get some pipes, which we've got pipes there. We've also got pipes on us, which is fine. And we want to connect this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. What do you want to connect them to, you say? Okay, well, let's start with that. Let's put an underground pipe in so it's easier for us to move and back and forth. There. And then what we're going to do is move this up here, because this is where it's going to store our oil. We want it kind of out of the way so that we don't have to keep looking at it all the time. There we go. Excellent. So what will happen now is the oil will go through there, fill up the train, and that should be all good. What we need to do though is make sure we put the oil around, or the wall around the oil, before we do anything more. Where do we put those walls? They're in here. Excellent. Let's get these up and running first of all. And just want to cover ourselves from any bug attacks up this way, just for now. Not that I'm too worried about that, but just like to be sure. And what we will do is we will put some flame turrets in here as well anyway, so I'll cover ourselves. And there we go, we've got enough to go across there, hopefully. And terribly designed. Do that again. And what we also want is a couple of these little security walls, which are... chuck a couple of those in there. There we go. Now we're not trapped. Excellent. So, that's our nice little oil area, all secure. And we want to put these little derricks in, don't we, as well? Oh, let's start with a radar. There we go. Now we can see ourselves on a radar. Lovely. Right, oil. Oil derricks, where are you? There we go. Excellent. Look at that. There are 6 after all. Bloody thing. Cheated me, didn't it? Get that one more building. There we go. Okay. So, as you see, these little buildings, they have a little output on them. That little arrow there, little blue arrow. So we'll put that there, that one there, and that one there. And pop that one there, and one there like that. These all require power, obviously. And then we might get away with putting a bigger power pole there to cover. No, it doesn't want to do that. Okay. Great. Put one there. And then that one covers all of them. Look at that. Lovely. Okay. We need these all connected by pipe. So we'll have one pipe there, and they'll all go into that one pipe. And then we'll have a pipe there and there. And these guys will go into that pipe. We'll put an underground pipe here to here. And these will go into this pipe. And this one down here is going to have its own little underground pipe dedicated to getting it in there somehow. There we go. Right, all of those are now connected up. So what we will do now is put an underground pipe from here across, and where we're going to put our oil storage is going to go in here. There, just like that. And that will go into there, and that will go there. And we'll grab a couple of these because we want this to be still pumping oil whilst we're not picking it up yet. There we go. Lovely. Now the important thing we want to also do is put some turrets around. Let's have a look at our map, see where our bugs are going to be coming from. north mostly, I'd say. North and west. Yeah, we'll put them up the top there then in that case, like this. Excellent. Right, got some coverage there. And what I'm going to do is actually put in a couple of these little guns as well, just to protect them from any other incursions from anywhere else. You never know. Just in case. And where did I put that ammunition? There we go. That's why we use this ammunition that's yellow, because it keeps it a little bit easier. It's only cheap, but it will do the job. Certainly covers us until we get anything over here like we need to do. Like cover our backs for anything that we need to cover with. There we go. Right. I think we're fairly well defended there. I don't think we're going to have any major issues. It's only a small outpost, but it should cover us for everything we need. And if anything does get through, it's going to fight everything else that's in there at the same time. Right. That is essentially the oil side finished. Okay, right. So looking at our oil supply, we've got this lovely setup, but there isn't a lot of oil coming through this pipe. It's really, really slow. It's going to take ages to fill one of these trains up. Probably way too much overkill on these containers, but we've got one that's full there, one that's not very full, another one that's not very full, and this one essentially is empty. So yeah, at the moment, oil wise, even if we do put this in automatic, it's going to take ages for this train to go back and forth. The oil actual coming out of the ground isn't huge over here. So yeah, 11 a second, 22 a second, 20, 16, 7, 15. So it's not great. I didn't think it would be great from the start, but we've got something. It's better than nothing. Also, it will take a little while to fill these up, and it's going to take these. Priority is going to be the train, hopefully. And these, I thought they might fill up by the time the train gets back. Looking at this, I think we'll be lucky to fill one of these up before the train gets back. But yeah, we'll take what we've got for the moment. These turrets will burn out whatever they can. They're not taking out huge amounts, 3 a second. So yeah, it's just going to be what it is, unfortunately. This pipe here is 1.8 of 100, very, very low. So yeah, it's doing its job. It is filling up, just not very quickly. So that one's done. Yeah, it's very slow. But that's not going to put me off. That's all good. I'm sure we will find a hell of a lot more oil on the map later, once we expand a bit more. But it is the best we can do. Once we get this one down here, it'll be interesting to see what this comes out at. Currently that little bit that you can see is 395. This one up here is 942, and this one over that we've already got is 676. So even then, this one we've got now is still better than the one we had, and I'm hoping this one down here is better than one that we've got. And we will obviously look around for more as we go. This could be a bottleneck for oil. We need oil, obviously, to make plastic. Plastic is very, very crucial for later on, because we need it from building red circuits, and without red circuits, we may as well just close down and go home now. It's not going to make any difference from us after that if we don't get red circuits. Right, okay, this one is all good. This is done. This is our first railway. We're good with this. Let's get this show on the road and get this train back home. Do we want to leave anything here for building the copper supply later? Yeah. Let's put down a chest with some supplies in it. We'll put it inside here so it's defended, just in case. And we'll put that there. And we will put some belts in there, a couple of hundred. 100 pipes. Don't think we need railways down that end yet. Another train there for later, so we'll worry about that later on. Let's put some iron in there. 2 of those. Bit of steel. And I think that will be all. I'll put a radar in there for later. Tell you what, we'll put those and those in there later on as well, just as a starter base for when we build the copper. Because what we'll do, we'll extend this wall across and down. The copper train potentially could come in on another belt over here, on another track over here, and up here along there. Maybe we want more than one copper train though. If we've got this much copper, there's a lot there. I think that said something about 2.7 million. That's huge. So we might do it where the train's going up there and then come back down this way, or maybe go up and around. We'll figure it out. Potentially even underneath. Go down this way and down, and then back up, and the copper can go underneath the belts. We'll figure that out later. We're not in a dire need for that at the moment. Let's get this train home. We'll stick it on auto. We'll force it to leave. Okay, so we're in there. We'll go to automatic. So it's sitting there waiting for its fluid cargo to be full. Obviously, it's not going to happen. So we're just going to go up to here. We want it to go to oil drop off, so we'll force it now to go anyway. Override its command. And it's just going to go. The only thing I just realised I didn't do was put in signals, but we'll do that on the way back later. I'm sure we'll come back this way. There's only one train on the network at the moment, so it's not going to kill anybody. And there we go. And that will sit there now until it empties its cargo, which it can't because there's nothing to empty it into. But that's about to change because we want to put some oil storage down here as well. And I'm thinking we probably want to build this wall across a bit more before we do that. Do we want to do that now? I think we probably should. Question is, where do we want to build it down to? Let's have a look. Do you know what? I think we'll be fine for the moment. We'll leave it for now. I don't think we're going to get any attacks from the south anytime soon. We do, we'll put a couple of small turrets in down here, which we probably should just build a couple of those. If we had any copper plate, which I think we might have in the car. Have we got any in the car? No. Let's go get some. Get some copper plate and a couple more other materials. Pretty sure I've got any in there. No, it's just iron. Oh yeah, so just as another aside, this is a little chemical plant here. This is what builds our flamethrower fuel for our flamethrower. Got oil and steel, turns them into these little canisters, which we can then put into our flamethrower. And we've got some lights here as well, just so we put some little lights in to turn on and off. Just make it a little bit brighter. Right, copper, where are you? In case you're looking at the research now and wondering why it's empty and nothing's happening, it's because we've actually run out. We've got nothing else we can research. What we need is these little blue science packs now, and we need the plastic bars to make red circuits to make these blue science packs. And once we get those, we'll have some very nice stuff there. Faster labs, uranium processing, and various other things improving. Oil, advanced oil processing is good. It lets us essentially turn the crude oil into the heavy and light oil, which we can then turn into other things and even back into other fuels if we need to. So it's quite good, quite versatile. Okay then, so getting the oil off the train is pretty much a reverse of putting it on the train. So we get these little pumps and we put them this way around instead. And what that does is essentially lets us take the oil off of there. And we'll do this. Oh, we just want to go there like that, don't we? And then this. Sure, I think we'll do that. I think we'll put a couple of these oil storage containers in this side instead. Like this. That's annoying, doesn't let me link it up like that. And yeah, then we'll just put a pipe across there instead like that. Again, they still need power, so we'll cheese it with these power poles this time. I wonder if we can do it like that. Ah, look, that's a much better way of doing it. Perfect. Yep, there we go. What we can do is actually run it down to one of these power lines instead. If it's easier to do it this way. Maybe let's do it like that instead. There. To there. And run it like this, and like... just a little too far out. Never mind, that one will fit. That's disappointing, that one doesn't. Okay, is what it is. We'll leave it like that. That's all good. And this train is currently emptying itself out. There's plenty there. We'll put another couple of these in. So what I like to do is leave these as like a little buffer. And they're a buffer just so that the oil can be stored, essentially. And it can empty the train fairly quickly. We do it like that as well if we wanted to. There we go. And there'll be enough in there that it will trigger this train to leave anytime now. When the train's full up or empty. Yeah, it's nearly empty. So once that's empty, it will leave. Is it still on automatic? It's on automatic. Oh, I see why. It's because of that cargo inventory. We'll take that away and that train will now leave. Any second now. Any second now. We'll make it go itself then. Fine. Bye then. Sod ya. See you later. Okay, right. Oil. Where's this oil going to go? We've got a lot of space here to put something in. Oh, there it goes. Bye, train. See you later. We need oil refineries. So what I'm going to do is build some oil refineries, which are these bad boys here. Going to need a lot of stone for this. I've got one in inventory already. I'll lay down the one we've got, actually. And we'll look and see where this goes and how it works. And what I'll do is create an output over this side for it. We want to keep it sort of close here because I want to use the space that it produces. These do get quite a lot of, well, they get very, what's the word for it? Very space intensive. Because eventually we're going to have 3 outputs from this, which then needs to go in 3 different sections and then go into chemical plants and various other things. And as you can see from the ones we've got up here, they do take a lot of pipe work as well. So that's something else we need to think about. So I'm going to go grab a few more of these and I'll pop these all together and I'll come back and let you know once they're all laid down. Here we go. So we've put some oil refineries in here now, and these guys are all producing the only thing they can actually produce at the moment, which is petroleum, or petrol as we like to call it in the UK, not gasoline as the our colonial friends like to call it. Yeah, gas, oil, petrol, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's making in there now. It's very useful because it will help us produce the solid fuel. And as you can see, we've actually already got one of these set up here. This I will take out and swap down here, and we can produce other things later on. But this is essentially going to connect down to this once this is built. What I can do is put in a series of chemical plants here, which will produce lots and lots and lots of this solid fuel, which will basically be the backbone of our fuel network until we get something better later on, which will basically be rocket fuel. And it will take a massive demand off our coal supply. Later on, there's recipes we can unlock where we turn coal into oil. That will help us if we want to use coal instead of oil later on, and it's liquefaction of coal. We need water and steam or something to do it. There you can see our train's just come in from its location out in the distance, and it's actually got a full train load. Look at that. It's actually full right to the brim. As you can see, I was also just putting down some pathing here, paving if you prefer, but yeah, stone path just so that we've got a road. We know that on this road we'll have some bits coming up here which we need to stop, but at least we can drive on there for the most part. Also, just to point out, I actually did put in some more gun turrets down here, just protects us from the south in case of any bugs coming in. I don't think we'll need them, but just in case. So these oil refineries now are doing nothing currently, but I do want to get this oil here from the end of this pipe, going to make it so that it goes underground and connects up to our other supply. And we've always got a supply of oil in this base. And Isn't that inconvenient? There we go. And then that connects up perfectly there. Look at that. I couldn't have timed that myself better, could I? Irritatingly, we've got one of these left. That tells me we've got one somewhere that's not connected to something. So somewhere in this base is one of these all by itself, just sitting there like that, doing nothing, connected to nothing. That bugs me. That bugs me intensely. I will find it and I will drag it out. If I can't find it, I'll take this one and put it in a box and destroy it. Because I can't have one left on my hotbar. It's not a pair. Oh, I know where it is. Look at that. I've just seen it right there. That's better. That makes me happier. Okay. Bugs me so much when it goes wrong. Okay, so the train's there still full up. It's not emptied its load. It's not emptied its load just yet. I'd like to give it plenty of time to empty its load. And so we're going to start putting in these chemical plants. And here we will, sorry, infantile humour, I know. We will put in these chemical plants here to produce the, what's the word we're looking for? Solid fuel. That's the word. I think we might have too many there. It might be a bit overkill. I think we've got 12. That could be too many. How much does this produce? It produces... Oh, making anything at the moment. So this produces 45 petroleum gas. And if I want to make solid fuel, it needs... How much? 20. So... 2 of these per refinery should be enough. So we've got 6 refineries. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, well that does work out quite well, doesn't it? Last time I checked, 6 times 2 was 12. Except we've gone and shot ourselves in the bloody foot there, haven't we? Because we can't put that one in because of that pipe. Bollocks. Ah, best laid plans of mice and men and all that. So I wonder if we can go around it instead. Yes, we'll do that. Pop that in there. We'll go around. We want to make sure we don't get it around there. Or there. There we go. That should do that. So that covers that nicely. We can run a pipe down there quite well to get the oil in there. Except the other thing we want to do is create this. Put this pipe in here all the way up. This is going to produce absolutely loads for us, which is great. We're going to need these pipes in as well, which I'm going to do like this and build underground belts, which I'm going to need more underground belts, which I'll have to build quickly and craft everything. And the reason for that is I want it to go like that. Because later on we're going to want more pipes coming out of here for other things. We don't want them to touch each other and clash, which they will do. There we go. Right. Got liquid fuel going through there. These need power, of course, but the important thing is they're getting their fuel. So we will need to put some power lines in here. We'll just grab some of those quickly and make those up. I will get a factory that makes these for us in a box. Once we get our drones, they can come and supply us as we need to. Got a while to go before we get to there, though. For now, we'll just pop these in. And we can do 3 per. That should be enough. And typically, again, 1 stop away. Alright, fine, we'll do it this way then. Do you want to play ball? We'll change the game. There we go. How's that? Excellent. Right. These guys are out now making our solid fuel. Fantastic. And we're going to want one of these. And it's just occurred to me we're going to need more power this side as well now. But the important thing is, look how much fuel they're going to be putting out for us. Loads of it. That's going to go straight onto that belt at the top there. That is going to make me very happy. Ticks all my boxes of satisfaction. Right, I think we'll just do dirty way of doing it down here like this. Perfect, look at that. All covered. Yes, look at that. Filling that belt right up already. Absolutely magnificent. To the point where it's actually starting to choke itself a little bit. Yeah, going to struggle to get some of this. Ooh, yeah. That is going to struggle. Seconds. 2 seconds. Ah, okay. We have cocked ourselves. Never mind. We'll put more of these in later. That's fine. I'm going to take them from up here anyway. And as we are going to end up going through here, we will just simply say goodbye to these walls. Didn't like these walls anyway. There we go. We'll cut these guys off. We're going to lose a little bit of oil, a little bit of fuel out there, but that's not a problem. We'll do what we need to do for these for the moment, and we will let them carry on doing what they do. Close those off. Maybe not. They're going to still need to put that out onto a belt and get rid of it. So at the moment, because our factory is full up to the brim, it's not producing anything, which means it's not requiring much in the way of fuel. But I have a cunning plan. We're going to use loads of this later. So we'll grab belt there, putting it into this. So anything that's not used, we'll run this out. This is going to take a little while to run all this out, but we'll keep it going for a moment. And we'll empty these as well. Good, that one's now empty. That's good. And this one is emptying out. This one also is now empty. It's got oil in there, but that's not a problem. That one also is emptying out. So we'll let those empty out. And this pipe here can go. We'll turn it to underground belts. There. Oh. There we go. And that'll keep feeding our flamethrowers down there, which is great. We will take those out soon because they'll need to go down the south. There we go. He's empty. Which means he should also be empty. Yeah. Good. Take these out. There we go. And that pipe there should eventually drain itself. And this one here will be the new star of the show. Oh, if only I'd have done it one more little tab over. There we go. Look at that. And these guys can't keep up here, so they'll eventually run this out. Tons in there still. Which is fine. We'll let that do what it's doing. It will eventually drain itself. And what I'll do, I will take a couple of these, because I want to put some fuel in the train. This train is currently unfueled. Let's go back down here. That's going to carry on doing what it needs to do. And currently down here the train has no way of getting any fuel into it. So I'll grab one of these steel boxes and we'll put it about there. And what we want to do is an inserter from there to the train. So literally throws it onto the train. No power there at the moment, but we'll put that on there. And what we'll do, we'll throw all of that into there. And what that does is, when the train sits in the station waiting to unload, it literally just fills the train's inventory with fuel. As you can see, it throws it in there. And then that way, we know the train is not going to run out anytime soon. What we could do is grab a little supply from here, but we should be okay for a while. Now, that is almost empty. So this train will go off and do its own thing imminently. Still loads there. So yeah, we've got plenty of oil. We can put another bank of oil refineries down this side as well if we wanted to, and make even more. Could be overkill, but yeah, we'll look at that maybe next episode. Right, I think then, for now, we've got our train set running. Do we want to go back and put the signals in again? I think maybe we should do. Okay, one more train track for luck. Put the last of those little signals in, the railway signals. Got a few left there. Let's do that, and we'll basically bin that off. We'll go to the oil pickup, and we'll sit back and watch our train go. Unfortunately, there's no horn, so we can't make it go beep beep, but maybe I'll put in the sound effects later. Whenever I'm away from the base, I always like to put the trains on manual, because if it leaves without me, it's a long walk back, and it's quite a long walk for the, or a long time for the train to come back by itself. So yeah, I do like to leave a train just handy if I need it, in case. Later on it's not so problematic, obviously when there's more trains going around it's a lot easier, but for now I ain't messing with it. Look at that, it's occurred to me I didn't bring any extra ammo. I've got enough there, I think, though, to cover us. Okay, what was I going to do? Yes, signals, right. Okay, railway signals. Do the same as we did last time. So we'll put one there. So if the train does decide to go and there's another train on the track already, it will stop literally there. There we go. So that should be good now. It's saying it's green, there's no trains on the track. If there is a train sitting here, this will go red and that train won't go any further, which is lovely. I need a couple more of those. We'll put them just down this end. So we'll put one there for the incoming, one there for the train going past, and one there for the train coming in. And that one there is red, obviously there's a train on the track. And what we'll do, we'll go along here, did the same as last time, and put the green signal there. So that goes green, and this one now goes red. There's chain signals as well. I don't really get into that too much. Yeah, they apparently look at the whole network and see what ones are available further ahead, etc, etc. But I don't tend to mess with that too much. This works adequately for what I use it for. It doesn't do anything more than it needs to. Doesn't get anything spectacular, but it keeps the trains running, which is great. Stops them crashing into each other, which is the kind of ultimate goal, isn't it, really, of trains, not to try and crash them into each other. Otherwise, then you're not very good at train driving. So yeah, that's basically where we're at for now. We've got our oil train up and running. We've got our oil refineries up and running, which is lovely. It's got a nice big column there of oil. Got our fuel going into there. We'll get rid of this anytime soon anyway. And then I think we'll probably look at getting the copper train lined up. And the copper train will come in further down here and probably dump off the copper up here somewhere, and then we'll work our way of getting copper up into a line into here to smelt as well, which we'll probably start by nicking that copper from there, making it go that way instead of this way, and get that crap out of the way there. And then once we've got this oil in place, we can then start building our red circuits, which currently take, to build a red circuit, it is in here somewhere. Red circuits take plastic bars, green circuits and copper cables. Plastic bars take coal and petroleum gas. As you can see, that's what we want to save our coal for. So instead of burning it, we want to use it. And when we use it, we're going to make plastic with it. It's quite easy to make. Chemical factories make it. chemical plants. So we'll get some of those up and running, and we'll probably look at doing that maybe somewhere over here if we can. We do need the coal in there, that's the only thing. So potentially we could get coal over there on the train, bring it in on this track, maybe, potentially. We'll have a think about that. Or maybe just get the oil, the gas going up here, like we already have, and use this oil, this coal. Either way, we'll figure it out. We'll work out where we're going to put it. It might end up going somewhere in here, because now we can bring all this down and bring it all forward. We've got space here to do that. And once that plastic goes onto the main belt here, we can then start building up our circuit plant. I can't believe we've only gotten 2 green circuit plants on the build for the moment. We've not used any of these green circuits realistically. So we do need to get that go big or go home on those, basically. We're going to have to start using this area up here too. We can clear this out, that's fine. So yes, that will be where we're aiming to go soon. The other thing I've noticed that we are going to start struggling on soon is stone. We don't have a lot of stone left. I think we have 28,000. That's not a huge amount. Once we start needing these research for these railways, we're going to need lots and lots more of that. But thankfully we have this one up here, and we have another one somewhere over there. I think I saw it. Or maybe it's over this way. Oh no, it's there. There's 1 million stone there. That's plenty. And 6 million there. We should be fine. Oh, we got coal. Yep. More iron. So we can potentially build a railway goes this way as well. Grabs the coal and the stone. Drops it all off maybe over here. Yeah, that could work. Cool. I'll have a think about that. Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. And enjoy yourself and take care. We'll see you soon. Thanks very much.